Hello and welcome to the first ever Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. My name is James Gasebrook, otherwise known as the Intrepid Wino, and I thought I would just do a trial run here. I'm house sitting at my parents' place, which is where I keep my wines as far as a cellar, and I pulled a few things out and I thought, why not open one up and sort of do a bit of a tasting here and put it onto the YouTube channel. So if you're watching this, thank you. Obviously, I think I might have mentioned in other platforms that the idea is to do some live streaming tastings, which is coming up in a few weeks. So obviously stay tuned for that, but why not give it a run here, see how it turns out, and I hope you enjoy it. So what I pulled out of the cellar was a bottle of the Moorooduc Pinot Noir 2003 from Langton Peninsula, Moorooduc Estate, a winery that I've loved for quite a while. One of the first that I visited, well, I think Langton Peninsula was the first wine region I actually visited as a wine tourist back in 2006, I think, 7. And Moorooduc Estate was one I went to, and I have been a big fan of their wines for a long time, made by the McIntyre family. Their Chardonnay is particularly well known. Their Pinot Noir, similarly, is well known for being wild yeast, so spontaneously fermented without a cultured or commercial yeast added to the fermentation. So 2003, I thought I'd pull it out because it's considered to be a sort of a warmer vintage, and I thought it's probably going to be looking pretty good now. I'm not sure how long it's going to last for beyond this, so why not open it up and have a taste. So here we go. Under screw cap, 2003. It was still reasonably early in terms of people using screw caps, but it's good to see, especially in terms of a premium red wine. So my favourite part, give it a crack. So immediately I can see the colour is, it's got kind of a brownish tinge to it already. I'm not sure if you can actually see that. You know, it's sort of light. It's not particularly thick in terms of its colour, but it is kind of getting more of a brick sort of colour rather than it being bright and sort of purpley in colour. So you can sort of see it is showing a little bit of age in the colour, and you know, I would think it's got something to do with the vintage conditions as well. Aromatically, it sort of does show, yeah, it is Pinot Noir. Yeah, it is Pinot Noir from the Langton Peninsula, but it has a slightly kind of cooked aromatic to it, a little bit maturized. Maturized is the term for when grapes are actually cooking on the in the very warm, hot conditions, which you do tend to see a little bit more when it's a bit older, because the youthful, exuberant fruit, that really dark fruit, has kind of faded away, and so you're starting to see that character coming through a little bit more as the wine has developed, almost sort of approaching a kind of a leathery character. You associate it more, I guess, with varieties like Cabernet and to a certain extent Shiraz as well. But it's still holding together pretty well. It is more in that kind of red fruit zone, sort of that dried cranberries kind of area. But yeah, it's a reasonably classic expression for Langton Peninsula Pinot Noir. So let's have a taste. It certainly has presence on the palate. You certainly see that kind of maturized, slightly cooked red fruit character coming through. It is definitely showing a bit of development. There's quite a bit of tannin going on there, which I think is partly a reflection of the vintage, but also Moorooduc is in a slightly warmer part of the Langton Peninsula, so you're going to get good ripeness there. The tannins are pretty powerful. But for me, it is showing a bit of alcohol. the warmth of the wine, again, which is a reflection of the warmer vintage, is possibly just overwhelming everything. In youth, it's possible that the kind of warmer alcohol character, the slightly more robust nature of the tannins would have been offset by nice, juicy, fresh, intense fruit. But with that fruit kind of disappearing as it's aged, I mean, this is 12 years old now, the alcohol and the tannin are sort of overwhelming a little bit. But it's a generous wine. It's an interesting example. It's representative. It's representative of the vintage, of the region, particularly the part of the region. It's still representative of Moorooduc Estate, but it's sort of not screaming out to me that much. But yeah, I'd be interested to sort of try. I haven't tried Moorooduc Estate for quite a few years. I think it's probably time for me to head down to Mornington and visit some cellar doors. Yeah, it was an interesting example to pull out from the cellar. I'm not sure what you guys think of Moorooduc. Let me know in the comments. If you've tried Pinot Noir from 2003 from Mornington in particular, let me know if you've had a good experience or a bad experience. What were your experiences with that vintage and that variety? I'll still enjoy this bottle, but yeah, I'm glad I pulled it out now. I don't think it really was going to improve much more. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little trial sort of run for tasting videos, and I hope to